Welcome to another edition of What the Elf Was That? I am Joel Cade, your host, and with me, as always, is John Suchan. Say hi, John.
Hello, everyone.
John Suchan is here. So, John, I got really mad this week about something, and we need to get this off my chest to the very start. And here's what it has to do with. You ready?
Okay, go for it.
The name's Bond. James Bond.
Okay. So, Isaiah Bond was denied the number seven. It's available because the Browns had cut that terrible kicker, and then they cut Tyler Huntley, who's now playing for that team. You know what team I'm talking about, right?
I'm actually a Ravens fan.
Go to hell.
So Tyler Huntley is now back with the Ravens, where he earned his Pro Bowl selection, and number seven becomes available. But Isaiah Bond is denied by Kevin Stefanski the ability to wear number seven. Did you hear about this?
No.
Okay, so apparently Kevin Stefanski has this rule that if you're a rookie on your first year rookie, you're not allowed to wear a single digit number. So Isaiah Bond had to take a completely different number than number seven simply because Kevin Stefanski says you can't have it. And that is bull crap. He is denying the fans what they want. They want a man whose last name is Bond to be wearing number seven.
So
Do
he
you have any
requested
thoughts,
it.
John?
So Bond requested number seven.
All I know is the report said that he could not have number seven because the rule, and I had to like go clarify what this rule was. The rule was that first year rookies are not allowed to wear single digit numbers unless they're quarterbacks. Now I know this is bullcrap because Jamar Chase came out with number one his first year of his rookie year.
Yes.
Okay. So this has to be a Stefanski or Browns rule. And here's what's irritating about the situation, right? Nick Bond has signed a 3-year contract that is guaranteed. So we will see him for 3 years, okay? But all 3 years, he will not wear number seven because if he wants to transition from whatever stupid number he's got right now
Hmm.
to seven,
Yeah.
per the NFL Player Association, he has to buy out from Nike every jersey that is not sold with his original number on it so that he can change numbers.
That's bullshit. Bullcrap.
Oh yeah, this was the reason why Dalvin Cook didn't change numbers when he was in Minnesota. Because it would have cost him $1.5 million
So
to
this is
buy out
more of an
all the jerseys.
NFL decision than it is Stefanski decision.
So the Stefanski decision was to not give him number seven. Okay.
Okay.
It's an NFL decision that if you want to change numbers, that you have to buy out the remaining stock of the jerseys with your name and original number that you're getting rid of
So
from
what about
Nike.
Jamar Chase then?
Jamar Chase just took number one because the Bengals let him take number one.
Uh,
The Browns are not letting Bond take seven.
and Stefanski's saying that because he's not allowing any rookies to have.
Yeah, on a first year player
Yeah.
on a roster cannot wear a single digit number unless you are a quarterback. That is one of the most stupid, asinine rules I've ever heard in the NFL. Now, the only thing I can think can justify this
Yeah.
is that the Browns roll through quarterbacks like toilet paper rolls, and they play about the same level, right? And so they need number seven for somebody.
Ah, that's just.
It's irritating.
Mm. No,
That was
I
probably the most frustrating thing. And I had to ask, what
right
the elf is going on in Cleveland that you cannot give a single digit number
now
to a wide
today.
receiver whose last name is Bond?
Today, or yesterday they said that Dylan Gabriel switched his number from 5 to 8, and or um, Harold Fannin, the kid, the tight end from Bowling Green, today switched his jersey from 88 to 44, which he wore when he was at Bowling Green. This is just It's interesting.
Okay,
Man.
I get those. I get those. Right. Fanning wants 44 back. Okay,
Mhm.
fine. Right. Somebody
Did
else
Bond
probably
have it
had
in
it.
college? Bond have
Yeah,
7?
Bond had 7 in college at Alabama and Texas.
He played at Alabama. That's right.
Yeah, at Alabama and Texas, he had number 7.
Ugh,
Okay. Now I understand the Gabriel thing, right? He's a quarterback, so they're going to let him have a single digit number because he's a quarterback. But this is just ridiculous. Like he is going to, if he doesn't want to pay out all those jerseys from Nike
yeah.
to go to
Yeah.
7,
Yeah.
he has to wait 3 years until his
Unbelievable.
contract ends. And then when his contract ends, he can change his number all he wants because at that point they're just selling out. They've
See,
sold out most of the
Joel,
product.
this is why. This is part of my question back to you then is this is why that the Browns are not excited. People are not excited about this season. People are talking about all the empty seats that are going to be there on Sunday and how it's not even close to a sellout and there are thousands of seats available. And people on La La Land and social media platforms are all talking about how this is the least exciting Brown season ever. So where do you land with all this with Joe Flacco coming back and who knows?
You just have to sit here and say, why am I watching the Browns? It's one of those years that like there's going to be a whole bunch of young kids, and I'm telling you, next year is going to be the exact same way.
Mhm,
They're going to draft a whole bunch of young kids, and they're going to put them out there. This
mhm.
is what a rebuild is.
So we're in a
Okay,
rebuild. Nobody wants to talk about that out loud.
nobody wants to admit that because then people don't show up to games, but it's obvious what is going on right now, right? You have 2 rookie quarterbacks on your roster. You have a veteran that's been around since dirt was invented, and this is what's happening. Like Joe Flacco went out and talked to the whole team about how in 2008, that is 17 years ago, he won his first NFL game against the Cincinnati Bengals.
Well, here's okay. So I mean, it is
I mean,
really
I
an
was in my
interesting.
30s when that happened. Like,
This is such an interesting time in Browns history, really, honestly, because we're talking about Joe Flacco. I'll just throw this out at it. One thing that came up yesterday in La La Land, i.e., social media, Aaron Goldhammer of 850 is talking out of his mouth, spewing shit like, "Oh, Joe Flacco, I predict is going to play out the whole season." Uh, Aaron, word to the wise, Joe Flacco hasn't started a full season since 2008, 2009, and the most games he's ever played has been 9, and that was back in 2009. So there's no way in God's green earth that this guy is going to play. No, it was no. I'm sorry,
had to be
2017.
19. Hmm.
2017 that he last played at least 9 games, but he's never made it past 7 or 8, 9 games. There's no way in God's green earth that Joe Flacco is going to play a whole season, but this is where we're at now. And we're also arguing amongst Browns fans. And I know I have had this discussion with some others in this La La Land about the Bungles and the season series. And some people are trying to say that, well, the Bungles have been dominating the Browns since 2010. No, they haven't. It's 13 to
No.
17 record. We're on the downside of that. We're down in the series, 55 wins to 48 losses. Okay. But there's been a series of back and forth. And in this last stretch with Kevin Stefanski, yes, we are 4-1. And those home games do count. Some people like to say, well, the home court. I'm like, what are we talking about? So we're in a really weird spot here as Browns fans right now because you and I have both been through this for many years and trying to get excited about the season. I mean, I'm excited myself, Joel, just because I'm a Browns
Hmm.
fan. So, but there's a lot of anti Brown sentiment still out there. There's a lot of
Well, let me say
dejected
this.
feelings. Yeah.
Let me say this, John. I am jacked that we're going to have football season.
Right.
Football season. All right. So, do I think the Browns are going to win the Super Bowl? No. Do I think the Browns are going to be competitive? Maybe. Maybe,
Yeah.
given the defense that we're going to throw out there. If we put the defense out there and then we run the football, we can be competitive. Okay? So that's that. I mean, if I had to give an over under, I'd give it 7 games. I think we could win 8 games this year.
So I put
Now,
I put us down for 8. I bet the odds, and I think it was plus 300 and something that the Browns would win more than 7 games this season. So I said yes. I put
Yeah,
a
I'd take the over on
bucks.
that.
Yeah.
I'd take the over on that. I mean, I think the team is going to be better. I think some people are just looking at this and poo-pooing. I think the team is going to be better than what people think it's going to be right now. I think for the first time in a long time, they've actually hit and practiced and actually prepared to go out and play a football game. Which
Mhm.
sidetrack. Did you see the Ohio State Texas game?
I did.
Okay, did you watch the first half of that game?
I did.
Okay, did that remind you of anything at all? That first half of the game?
What did it
'Cause
remind you of, Joel?
it reminded me of every season opener of the Browns every single season when both teams, especially the Browns, come out and do it. But both teams come out because they haven't played any of their starters all preseason, and they look like it for a half. Nobody can catch a pass.
Right.
Nobody can throw the ball. Nobody can hit a hole. Nobody can block. Nobody can tackle. It looks like the worst football you've ever. And it didn't happen just Ohio State, Texas. This was every single college football game that you would watch last weekend. It's terrible. They shouldn't play games like Ohio State, Texas, like that. They should literally have what the NFL has, and they should have preseason games where they get this kind of crap out of the way. But then the problem becomes, then you got people like the NFL, right? Like, oh, we're not going to play them because we don't want them to get hurt. And then you go to the first game of the season, the same stupid crap goes on anyway. You would think at some point the NFL would decide, like, okay, we need to get a good product on the field in week 1.
Yeah.
So you need to play your starters. Like the Goodell bot. I've been waiting to use this. The Goodell bot needs to come out. I gotta find it. Hold on. We're about to listen to the Goodell bot. Here it comes.
Want to be dealing with this stuff? Let the Goodell bot do it.
The stupid thing isn't working.
Or we'll get it right.
Man, that thing hasn't worked right since we bought it.
So they need to get the Goodell bot out there to mandate to these teams that their starters have to play a quarter of football before they let them sit down. Just so that they are ready when it comes to week 1. And week 1 is not an extension of the preseason, or week 1 is accomplishing what the
but in the
preseason was
meantime,
supposed
Joel,
to
we're getting some
accomplish.
great off the field entertainment with, for example, Joe Flacco and David Njoku playing like kids on the sideline, trying to do kicking their legs like they're little 12-year-old boys. Like in a middle school football game. I mean, their interest is more in putting on shades and looking cool on the sideline than it is playing football. Now, I'll give Joe Flacco a little bit of a pass here because he is 40 plus years old. But all these guys, like, I agree, Joel. This is patty cake, and they're just doing stupid stuff, and then we're concentrating on stupid crap like Kevin Stefanski not allowing Isaiah Bond to wear number 7. Come on, Kevin, give it up. Let Bond wear number 7. He's Bond, man. Damn it, let him do it.
The name's Bond. James Bond.
Yeah, Kevin, listen to James, man.
And our man Isaiah Bond has
Getting
been
all fired up here because our Brownies. Now, like you said, I think Stefanski's done some things going into this season that should help as they prepare for this game 1. I wanted to talk to you about the Bungles here in a minute, but I think we got a really good shot. The money line right now, Joel, has money on Cincinnati that they're going to win. They're 5.5 point favorites to win this game.
I'm taking Cleveland every day on that, and I'll tell you why. The question you have to ask for the Browns is, what's that defensive line going to do, and can the Bengals, with their notoriously terrible offensive line, really do anything to stop them? Now, the way the Browns get cooked this game is if Burrow can get the ball out fast, and we've got some nickelback who nobody's heard of, who probably wasn't even on the roster 2 weeks ago, out there like playing nickel. So the question for Cincinnati is, can they get the ball out fast enough to negate the pass rush? If the Browns can figure out a way to stop that from happening, they're going to win the football game, because I don't think the Bengal defense, although they've got a new defensive coordinator with Al Golden, I don't think their defense is going to be good enough if the Browns truly do sit down, run the football, and throw a play action pass. I don't think the Bengals are going to be able to do it.
Well,
so
Joe
I think the Browns have a real chance.
Joe is the master of play action passing. they were showing remnants. His first game or years ago, back in 2007, maybe when Joe Flacco played against the Brownies, Joe Flacco scored on a 38-yard quarterback sneak. Did you see this on video? It's out there today. I forgot it was out there. He
No, I
actually
didn't see it.
he did a play action.
Then I'd have to watch Ravens highlights, and I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in that. I mean, you know what? Joe Flacco is nice and cool and all, but we know he's here for half a season. And
Right? Yeah.
if
there's-
you're truly doing the rebuild thing, which nobody wants to say they are, but this is what they're doing, then they want to get Gabriel and Sanders out there.
Well, and
when
that's the
they're
thing
ready.
too. Like, we got beat writers like Tony Grossi, the old timer, who's starting to, praise Jesus about, Lenoris Sellers, this quarterback from South Carolina, who now he just decided is the greatest gift on the planet, and now he wants the Browns to draft this guy. I mean, this is just ridiculous. Just takes. These guys just have nothing else to talk about. They're upset that we're starting the season with Joe, but we, like you said, Joel, we've got to figure out what's going to happen next. But you can't start making those predictions now. You got to give it some time. And don't you agree that probably Dylan Gabriel and Shador should be on the docket not only this year but next year? I don't want to. Me personally, as a Browns fan, what the hell are we drafting another quarterback for next year? Why?
So I think you need to play. Let me give you my rundown on the current quarterback situation. I think you need to play Dylan Gabriel because you need him to be an adequate backup. I cannot imagine they believe that he's going to be the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. I mean, he's played well, but I think in the end of the day, he's a backup. Now, if they thought he was a starter, they'd have drafted him earlier. And that's that.
Mhm,
Shador
mhm.
Sanders is the one that you got to have to wait for. Maybe week 10, week 11, maybe it takes him that long
Mm,
to figure out what's going on out there, to learn a playbook and all this kind of stuff.
mhm.
And then you got to get him out there. You got to finish the season with Shador Sanders because he's the only one that could change your draft plans next year.
Mhm.
If not, and that's his task. His task this year is pure and simple. Convince the Browns
Mhm.
not to draft a quarterback in 2026.
Mhm.
That is his entire season. He needs
Mhm.
to wake up, take a shower, take a dump,
Yeah.
eat breakfast, lunch, dinner with nothing on his mind except I'm going to force the Browns to not draft a quarterback next year. Because if he can't, that's what we're doing. And we need to.
Mhm.
And we
Mhm.
have to. So Shador Sanders
I
has got
believe that he
1
can
year to
do
make
that,
this
Joel.
chance.
I believe
I think he
do
can
that.
too. But the question is, can he? I mean, it's up to him. I mean, I think he can, but he's got to do it.
Mhm. Right.
He's got to do it.
Yep. Yep.
All right, let's take a break here real quick and let our sponsors have free reign. All right, and we're back. We're still talking about quarterbacks. Okay. So, John, you mentioned Lenoris Sellers. I did not get a chance to even watch any of that game.
Nor did I.
Did you watch any of the other games with these celebrity
We
quarterbacks?
did. Yeah, the celebrity. Yeah. The LSU game, the Clemson game, saw those guys. The LSU quarterbacks always, I've been watching him since last year. I like the kid. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but I've liked the kid. I think he'll,
All right, so you're talking about Garrett Nussmeier of LSU.
yes. Hmm.
Okay. So right now, after week 1, Garrett Nussmeier is my favorite. I think he was in command of that offense. He knew where he wanted to go the ball. He looked comfortable. Looked
Mhm.
like he had a good arm.
Hmm.
Now, I don't have coach's film, and I don't even have time to watch that kind of coach's film.
What? You don't?
But I like
Come on,
Garrett
Joel.
Nussmeier. I got other things going on in my life. All right, so number 2 out of the block is Cade Klubnik. I thought he was pretty good. Now, was he perfect? No.
Who does he play for?
Clemson, that same game.
Oh, yeah, the same game. Okay.
The
Duh.
same game.
Johnny
Clemson.
Cleveland not answering questions very good.
All right.
Err.
But I didn't get a chance to watch Lenoris Sellers. But Arch Manning, let's go back to Arch Manning.
Sure. Yeah. What do you think about that?
Julian Sand. Let's go to Julian Sand first. Julian Sand in 2 years could be the top pick in the draft.
I
He's
love
that
it.
good.
I agree with
He's
you.
that good. He is. I mean, like, if he's in the same draft with Arch Manning will get taken because of the name. But Julian Sand may be the better quarterback when it's all said and done. Then it just depends on what happens with how people develop and
I
all
was
that kind of
very
stuff.
impressed with him. coming into that game in a big profile game. And granted that there's a lot of mistakes going on, but I was much more impressed with him. And I listen, the Manning kid's going to be good. I mean, he's got the name to it and all this stuff, but that Julian Sand kid for Ohio State, he could be something good.
Yeah, I mean, I remember going and watching the Scarlet and Gray game,
Mm,
and they had this was a while ago.
okay.
They had I can't even think of the guy's name. The guy who was the quarterback for the Steelers who died tragically on the interstate. I can't think of his name.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Haskins. Haskins. Right?
Haskins, yeah.
Haskins was the quarterback, and the backup on the other team was Joe Burrow.
No
And I'm watching
way.
this game,
Yeah,
and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm watching this game unfold.
yeah.
And I'm looking and I'm thinking, why the F? Why the elf is
Why the
Urban
elf?
Meyer playing Haskins when he's got Joe Burrow on this team who's out there lighting up the first team defense? Why in the world is he
Wow.
playing Haskins? Right? I think I even tweeted it out. I'm not sure. Like they
Boy,
should be
you were
starting
right
this
there in the
Burrow
midst
kid.
of it. Yeah, Joe Burrow,
He was
Burrow mania. Joe
Starting
Schmo.
this Burrow kid.
I call
was-
him Joe
I-
Schmo, by the way. That was
I
courtesy of my daughter Mariah. Thanks, Mariah, for the calling him Joe Schmo. Okay, back to Joe Burrow.
all right, and so I was deeply depressed when he transferred to
Oh,
LSU.
don't be depressed, Joe.
I'm like why is Ohio State just letting this guy walk out? Like of course I'm the only one in the country who's like fretting over Joe Burrow going to LSU until he becomes Joe Burrow, and then everybody realizes,
and
oh
he
my
takes
God,
the
what did
Bungles
Ohio
to a
State let
Super
him walk
Bowl.
away?
Oh, okay.
Right.
Like,
You know, just because Urban Meyer wanted somebody that can run as opposed to like somebody who could just sit
Mm-hmm.
back in a pocket and throw lasers
mhm,
accurately on time to people and is
mhm.
intelligent. It's almost like Joe Burrow was an NFL quarterback waiting to happen. Kind of like Julian Sand
Now
right
I'm
now.
really depressed about the Browns' outlook on the game Sunday. But back to Joe Burrow and Ohio State.
No. The problem with Joe Burrow is he can't move, and Miles Garrett's coming for him, and that offensive line is like an insurance policy just to ensure that your quarterback's going to have an ACL tear. Just watch, he'll be hurt. Now, so let's go into Arch Manning for a second.
Yes.
Because I watched Arch Manning, and I think of all the quarterbacks I've watched, and I watched the Notre Dame
Miami game.
Miami game,
Yep.
right? And Carson Beck, I'm not a fan of Carson Beck.
Nor am I.
Yeah,
No.
just throw it up there and
Yeah.
whatever, right? I think CJ Carr, redshirt freshman, looked better than Arch Manning did
Mhm.
last
For
Saturday.
Notre Dame. Yes.
Yeah, Notre Dame.
Totally.
Redshirt freshman, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Looked
agree.
a lot better than Arch Manning.
Yeah.
Arch Manning, I'm sure Arch Manning will get it. He'll play. He'll get some time. He'll play. He's got a lot of hoopla. He's got more people. Could you imagine Tony Grossi being like a Texas reporter? How much would he be up Arch Manning's butt? Right. That to me is just like wow. Right. But Arch Manning looks like he has all the tools, but like his tool shed is a mess. Nothing
Right.
is working together. Nothing works like it's supposed to. And he just looks like lost. I mean, like lost. I mean,
But do you
I
think
can't
that's
think
just
a ton.
part of
I never
experience
saw Manning looking
giving
lost.
him more time this season? Do you think by the end of the season he'll be doing things that we aren't talking about right now? Because
Well,
like
it
his
goes back to
legs,
my-
his ability to run, I was impressed with that.
oh yeah, he did look. He can run, but he doesn't know when to run. That's
Mhm.
another problem he has. I was watching that game thinking this game should be played in week 8 or week 9 of the college
Yes.
football season.
And
You
not
know,
at noon.
Let Julian Sayin develop for 8 weeks. Let Arch Manning develop for 8 weeks. And then play this game. Then it'll actually mean something and it'll be good football. What it looked like was bad preseason football by two quarterbacks who hadn't played a lot, who are trying to figure it out. And it's sad. It's really sad because Arch probably hurt himself a lot. Now that sets him up for, oh my God, look at so much progress he made over the year when
Uh-huh.
you look that bad week 1. So that could work for him. But like he needs to go play some of those garbage SEC teams they play all the time, like Kentucky and Vanderbilt and crap. You know, those teams.
Don't
that,
tell
"Oh, the
Steve Gill that about
SEC."
Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is
Whatever.
his
Okay.
school. You got to be nice
Insert
to
some
Steve.
other Arkansas or Mississippi State or some other team
Okay.
that's in the SEC. I mean, I think Bileema's still down there. The old Wisconsin coach is still
Oh,
down there. in
dude, by the way,
Arkansas.
not to switch gears on you, but did you like
That's
the
fine.
North Carolina game the other night when they played TCU. I don't know if you caught any of that, but
I
first
didn't.
off, when they
I
brought
wasn't even going to watch that clown
Bill
show.
Belichick comes on before the game and is interviewed by ESPN in the locker room, and it's just hilarious. He's still so stone cold, and he's wearing that half cut sweatshirt, and she's like, the reporter, like, oh, you're wearing your sweatshirt. Yeah, it's my look, And then they're showing video later before the game how his girlfriend in high heels on an artificial turf or whatever nice stadium field is walking around talking to Bill on the field of play with her white high heels boots. It's absolutely just stupid. You can't look at this whole thing with North Carolina seriously. It was a shameful display. But here's the other thing I was going to get at is Freddie Kitchens. Freddie Kitchens is their offensive coordinator. Did you know that?
For Bill Belichick?
Yes.
Okay, this just further reinforces my point. Sometimes you just need to quit.
Right?
Just
I saw that
quit.
and I just had to do like a triple check. Like, what? Did I just see that? Right? He's up in the press box calling plays. Freddie Kitchens.
Why is Belichick doing this? If you got Freddie Kitchens, you've hit rock bottom, right?
Right?
It's not like you're like I'm doing this for a paycheck. He has become the I can't think of his name. The running back for Seattle.
Oh,
Marshawn Lynch.
Marshawn Lynch.
Bill Belichick has become Marshawn Lynch. I'm just here so I don't get fined. Like I'm just here to get paid. Doesn't care. Isn't going to answer questions. Isn't going to actually coach the game. He's just here to collect a paycheck. Like, is that what his life has come to? Like, get a hobby, man. Football is over. You had Tom Brady. Okay. You won a bunch of games. Congratulations. And now that your career is over, just retire.
Man,
Just retire.
no,
Save yourself the embarrassment.
Oh man, I'm looking up Freddie Kitchens right now. No, I swear to God, it was Freddie Kitchens. They mentioned him on the broadcast, but I'm going back and looking because some of you will say no, it's not Freddie Kitchens. So I'm trying to get. No, it is right here.
I'm trusting you,
I
John.
found it.
I'm trusting you.
I found it right here. Yeah, right here. It's right here. He is. He is the offensive. No, he's the run game coordinator of tight ends and the run game. That's
Okay,
his
so
title.
He calls all the run plays. Okay.
Begins his first season as North Carolina's offensive coordinator and tight ends coach under Bill Belichick. There you go. God. Freddie Kitchens. Oh my gosh.
Does he have like a 20-year-old girlfriend too?
Dude,
Is
she's
this like
24.
the old man pervert
How
club?
old is Bill? Well, Bill's got to be what, 72?
He's in his
73?
70s. He's got
gotta
to be
be. Let's
50
see.
years older than her.
I'm sorry, I've said this before, and I don't care what all of you say because all of you out there who want to be football people, look, I don't care if you out there think that he's the greatest football coach of all time. What he's doing right now is a crime, and he should be
Just
behind
retire.
bars. And I don't care if you don't like it. If you respect that man for what he's doing right now, you have some issues internally on your own. So there you go, folks.
Well, John, I will say it's technically not a crime if she's an adult. Is it creepy?
Well, that is
and
true. It's
weird?
technically like in my mindset,
yes,
it's you're
creepy
rocking
and
the
weird.
cradle.
Creepy and weird. I will admit.
He was
this.
born in 1952, so that makes him
Okay. 73.
73. He'll be 73. No, he is 73. He'll be 74. His birthday is in April 16th. Happy
Okay, so-
birthday, Bill.
Next April, he's 74. How old's his girlfriend?
24. So he'll be 74. She's 24. So that's 50 years, folks. 50 years.
So he was like in his 30s when this woman was born.
No, he was in his 50s. He was 50 when she was born.
Oh, you're
He-
right. Why am I trying to take away 49?
Let's
No.
do some math.
Oh my God. Like that. Oh my God. Like this is just insane. That's insane.
I mean, it's
All right, that's
disgusting. It's
We gotta
disgusting
get
on
off
every
this.
level. Okay.
We got to get off this. Look, let's talk about the game coming up this week before we wrap this all up. I like the Browns this week. I know people think I'm insane. I like the Browns this week. I genuinely believe there's a real chance they pull this off. Okay. They've got to come in, play a perfect game, but they could do it. The defense is good enough to rattle Burrow enough
Mhm.
that they could keep him from throwing accurate passes if they're in his face with hands up. That
Yeah.
could happen. The question is the secondary. Can the secondary hold up chasing around Emil? What's that guy's name? Amayavash, Emilvash,
Yeah.
Chase, and T. Higgins. Because they got 3 good receivers. They also got a couple good tight ends that can catch passes too. So can they follow these guys around it long enough for the
Mhm.
pass rush to get there? So if you can neutralize the offense, and if the Browns are truly methodical, running the ball, play action,
Mhm.
they could win this game.
Mhm.
I'm optimistic this week.
I don't think that they have to be, and I'll join the crazy crowd, but I don't think you're crazy at all. I think they're going to win. I think the Browns win this game. Now, the one thing, I don't think they don't have to be perfect either, because I don't think the Bungles are going to be perfect either. I think, the Cincinnati Bungles have a tendency to start the season slow. Joe Burrow, maybe he'll get injured, that courtesy Miles Garrett. So,
I'm not wishing injury on anybody.
no, we're not. I shouldn't say that. I'm sorry. I digress. That I'm still hung up on Bill Belichick and his girlfriend. Um, but no, I think the Browns have a really good shot at winning. And if the crowd comes alive in that game on Sunday, and I think the weather's going to be nice. It's going to be around 70 degrees, high 60s. A lot of fans will be excited about in the atmosphere, and it'll be fun. And the Browns have they've lost the last 3 to Cincinnati, but they have every opportunity now to turn that around. They're 6-4 under Stefanski, 4-1 against the Bungles at home. So, or overall, well, yeah, at home. So I like their chances. I think Miles Garrett is going to come to play, and like you said, if they can get on the offensive side, like you mentioned earlier, if the Browns can get and Flacco can use that play action, the Browns can get that time, establish the run game a little bit early. I definitely think they're going to be in it, and that, like you said, play a conservative sort of. They don't have to be a barn burner, right? I mean, they can play it close to the vest and do the little things. They definitely should have an opportunity at winning.
Yeah, I think the Browns need to play trestle ball. Do you remember what trestle ball is?
Tell me again.
Goes back from Jim Tressel when they won the championship back in like '02.
Yes.
Jim Tressel ball, right? His idea was you play defense and kick field goals. Now, like the idea is you play conservative offense
Yes. Yeah.
and you play field position and you let your defense win you the game. Now, whether you can actually win like that in the NFL is another question, but the Browns are going to have to play trestle ball.
Are
If
you going to
unless
watch Nick Chubb? I'm interested in seeing what Nick Chubb does in week 1. I know he's not with the Browns anymore, but I have a bet going with Steve Gill that he'll run for over 1,000 yards this season.
I would not take that bet.
Well, I already did.
I would be on Steve Gill's side at this point. But
Damn you, Joe.
all right. They got other backs, and if you're going to use Nick Chubb correctly,
Hey, what are your
you need
thoughts
to,
on
like, use him.
Johnny Manziel before we leave?
What did Johnny Manziel say? I mean, first of all, before you even
So
tell me what he said, Johnny Manziel, I believe, works for Texas A&M, right? Probably because he like wasted all of his money, and it will do anything to sound relevant. So, all right. With that
That's
said,
basically
what did Johnny Manziel
he's
do?
trying to sound relevant again, and he's using the Browns. He's bashing the Browns. He was recently on a podcast together with Braylon Edwards, our favorite all as well, the old Braylon Edwards, and they started hashing up this conversation where Braylon Edwards started talking about how he would leave town the day after the game or the night of the game after the game was over to just get the hell out of Cleveland because he loathed Cleveland. So of course that gave Johnny Manziel an opening to basically say, "Oh yeah, I did the same damn thing. I left after the games. I knew I was the longtime backup, so I'd get the hell out of there. I'd go to Vegas. I'd light it up. I'd smoke 2 joints while I was in the car on my way. I was waiting for my flight to get out of Cleveland. I'd hang out there until Monday night, and then I'd fly back to Red Eye, and then I'd go report back to meetings, but I'd be partying and all this shit." And then he'd say, and he finished by saying, I don't wish good tidings to the Browns at all. I hope they go 0-16 every season. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? He's psychotically crazy. The man is just, he's probably doing shit right now, and that's
Mhm.
part of the issue. And so he's just trying to get his name in the papers again. nobody gives a flying hoo-ha, Johnny. You're an idiot and you always will be. I had a small inkling that maybe you would grow up, but obviously you haven't, and you're just playing for clicks and all that fun crap. So go ahead and keep spewing that shit because Browns fans in Cleveland knows a lot better and a lot smarter than your dumbass there in Texas. So there you
Tell
go.
me how you really feel about Johnny Manziel.
Did I get
I'll
that out
tell-
enough? Okay.
So I'll tell you what's going with Johnny Manziel. You know who Johnny Manziel is? Johnny Manziel was the original like cash cow of ESPN. They took that guy and they pumped him up so much to get everyone to watch the SEC. And that was when the SEC network was really taking off.
Mm-hmm.
ESPN owns the SEC network, which is why ESPN
Yep.
pumps the SEC nonstop. That's why Paul Finnbaum has a job down there for ESPN. It's just he's just a talking head about how great the SEC is. And
Yeah.
Manziel became that first person that they could put their hat on and say, look at how great this person is. And they pump him up far greater to make him look far better than what he actually was. Okay. And then they
100%.
hyped him up, squeezed as much money as they could get out of him, and then sent him off to the NFL. And then they blamed Cleveland for when it all went down because they weren't going to admit that they overhyped the kid.
See, and that's where like now, like when we're in the current state of the situation with the Brownies, we all got duped. I mean, I got duped. I was stupid back in the day. I bought the Johnny Manziel gear and all that crap. I tried to buy into all this. Oh, this is going to be real bit. But like, look at this current state of the situation with Shador Sanders. I think Shador is a completely different type of kid. Maybe he doesn't work out, but I would much rather go down and see what Shador does. And I don't feel that Shador 20 years from now or 15 years from now is going to be bashing Cleveland. And if he is, he's probably going to get scolded by his old dad, Dion, because Dion at least has, while Dion is crazy sometimes, says a lot of stuff. At least I respect the man because he's one of the best and he's done a lot of good and he tells a good message and he lives it. And I think his sons and his family are doing a lot of the same thing. And it's so contrary and different from someone like stupid ass Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, and I think Shador Sanders has a good upbringing for dealing with that crap.
Mm-hmm.
His name by itself is going to bring that Manziel crap with him.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter where he goes, everyone's going to talk about him because he's the cash cow, right? So we got to talk about him.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you said with Tony Grossi, the ultimate like milkmaid out there. Like he's like wanting to milk that cash cow, but the Browns aren't starting him, and what a terrible tragedy,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
like he wants to milk the cash cow.
Mm-hmm.
But now they got to deal with Joe Flacco, and what's Joe Flacco? Boring, stable, good quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing to talk about. Then the Browns might actually win. That would probably be the worst thing in Tony Grossi's mind is for the Browns to actually win because people will read more of his stuff when the Browns lose.
Mm-hmm.
If you think anything, that these media people are probably like hyped that the Browns are rebuilding because they're going to lose games.
Yeah. That's for
I
another
think
discussion.
Shador Sanders, at least from his dad being Deion Sanders, understands this is what people are doing.
Mhm.
Baker Mayfield didn't understand that. He'd get all
Good point.
upset at like Tony Grossi and Jesus Tony and all this stuff. He'd get
Yeah.
upset at Colin Cowherd and all this. But all they were doing was making money off his name. And Shador has been very good at, all you people are going to do this, all you people are going to do that. I mean, I saw the video where he confronted Tony Grossi, and that was perfectly the way he did it. Why you
Right.
never write anything good about me? What did I do to you? Make it a personal face-to-face issue.
Yeah.
What did I do to you?
Right.
Because to Tony Grossi, he's just a name to exploit. You put a
It's a
face
very good point.
to another face and you say, I am a real human being. What did I do to you? It makes
Mhm.
you reevaluate what you're saying. But as long as they're just like nameless, faceless people that you can just
Well, it's why
exploit for whatever.
absolutely, Joel.
difference?
This whole concept in social media and La La Land. This is where we're at. This is why people go crazy in social media and it's so negative and stuff because everybody has this opportunity, like you said, Tony Grossi exploiting this name and this kid, and like you said quite correctly that Shador is pointing out, what did I do to you? Like in making it personal because we get away from the personal when we're in this whole La La
Yeah,
Land.
when you get to that face-to-face interaction, and Like people will say all kinds of stuff about you behind your back, but you get right in front of their face.
I
they
say
won't
all
say
sorts
anything.
of stuff about you, Joel, off camera.
That's fine. It's off, Brian. It's nowhere near what I say about you. I promise. All right, look, we're gonna wrap this up, man. We're gonna wrap this up. Look, I
Hey, do
am
you have it? Hey,
frustrated.
do you have the music on when you leave? Make sure you have it on live because I don't think you had it on live when you played it earlier. But maybe I missed it.
Yeah, I caught that. I caught that before we played the Bond theme. I was gonna say my final word here is this. I hope Kevin Stefanski comes out or the Browns come out, or Isaiah Bond has in his contract that the Browns will buy out those
Mm,
jerseys because it's their stupid rule that's going to cost him money next year if he wants number 7. So I think the
mhm,
Browns, in some way, shape, or form, should be liable for that
mm.
transition. That's my point. What do you got, John? What do you want to end on?
I got nothing, Joel. Though tonight I will say this: if you've followed the Fanatical Elves Network, my Johnny Cleveland podcast tonight, we have a special guest. We have a Bungles fan coming on who's brave enough, happens to be my colleague from work. Happens to be coming on tonight. We're going to be talking more Cleveland Browns, Cincinnati Bengals preview. Joe Schmo and Jamar Chase were in. We team up
Hold on,
against
hold
each
on.
other. Yes.
Before we quit this, I got to tell you a story. So I'm watching the Ohio State game, Texas game with my son. We're going to extend this another 5 minutes.
Excellent.
I'm false start on me
Excellent
here.
there,
So
Johnny Carson.
I'm watching this with my son, right? And he starts asking me questions about the Bengals, right? What about this? What about that? It's like he's like, "Who's Mike Brown?" I'm like, you heard of Mike Brown? This is the cheapest owner in the history of all owners. The cheapest dude you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, he's probably a better owner than Jimmy Haslam." I'm like, there is no way Mike Brown is a better owner than Jimmy Haslam. Jimmy Haslam wants to win. He tries too hard to win and he gets involved in things, but he's willing to pay for things. Then I start telling him all the stuff that Mike Brown's done.
Mhm.
Okay. All
Yeah.
the stupid crap. And this was just this year's crap. Like his daughter telling Trey Hendrickson he should just be happy with what he's got
Right.
and how they screwed over T Higgins in the contract he just got and how he wanted to try to not play his first round pick, a guaranteed contract, which is written in the NFL Players Association bylaws that he gets the first. It's a guaranteed pick or guaranteed money. Like the stupid stuff he tries. I'm like, you should just look him up. So my son spent 20 minutes looking up all the idiotic crap that Mike Brown has done over his tenure, and he
Yes.
looked at me and said, "You're right. Jimmy Haslam is a much better owner than Mike Brown."
Mhm.
Yeah, he said, "I would kill myself if I was a Bengals fan, having to
Yeah.
deal with that." Like,
Well,
exactly.
we'll have that conversation later tonight. So join us for the Johnny Cleveland podcast. It's coming to you live in about an hour and 44 minutes at 7 o'clock.
That should be the first question. Being a Bengals fan, how do you not kill yourself? Like,
I, that might be a little too much considering that. Never mind. We'll go down
well,
that
look,
path.
Mike Brown has, like, in the last 2 years, threatened to move the team if he doesn't get a new lease where the county.
Really? Okay.
Okay, so right now
Yeah.
he's coming to the end of this lease in 2027, I think.
Yeah.
And as of right now, with the lease he negotiated, the county, Hamilton County, is it Hamilton County?
It is.
Whatever they're
Hamilton.
in is paying the Bengals to play in that stadium.
Mm.
Like the Bengals are being paid to play in that stadium. Okay. So Mike Brown wants this like sweetheart contract and has already threatened to move the team if he doesn't
Yeah.
get it.
Wow.
That's who
Considering-
you're dealing with.
It's an interesting franchise considering everything that happened early on with how they became the Bengals after the Browns and Paul Brown and all that fun stuff. So we'll have a lot to talk about. So tune in 7 o'clock tonight for the Johnny Cleveland podcast.
Yeah, you should.
That's
also
all I
ask him
got,
about
Joel.
that. Should also ask him about why they didn't trade the rights to draft Ricky Williams for the entire Saints draft and their first and second round pick the next year, but instead let who did it? Who did it trade with the Saints for Ricky Williams? I forget who it
Oh,
was.
it was you're telling me that they had that opportunity? The Bungles did?
Oh, this is okay. We're gonna keep going, man. I grew up a Bengals fan. Okay, I did, but it was 2000. Was it 2002? The year the Browns came back. This was the
Yeah.
first draft the Browns
Yeah.
were back. 2002. Ricky Williams is the prize out of Texas.
Yes,
Okay.
I remember that.
Mike Ditka takes over as the New Orleans Saints head coach.
I remember that. Right?
And he made it well known that he wanted Ricky Williams.
Yeah.
Okay. So you had the Browns picking, I think the Texans were next. Okay. And then you had the Bengals.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah.
the Browns take Couch. Was it the Texans? It was the other
Are
expansion.
we talking
team that year.
99 or 2002? Because 99 is
Oh,
when we
two.
took Couch. Did we
Well,
take
okay,
somebody
99.
else?
It's 99. It's 99. This is going on.
Okay.
1999. Okay. The first draft. Okay. 1999.
Okay.
Weren't the Texans picking second in that draft? Or is it just the Browns that year?
Let me look.
I don't remember. I thought the Browns came back into existence when the Texans came back, but maybe not. Or Texans
Let me
came
look.
in.
Let me look. I'll look.
But the Bengals had the first pick that wasn't an expansion team. Okay. And they had their eyes on a player. But Ditka comes in and says, we will give you all of our picks in this draft and our first round and second round pick of next year's draft if you let us trade up to the number 3 spot, or was it number 2, whatever it was, so we can draft Ricky Williams. And the Bengals said, no, we're not going to do that. Okay. So you
Mhm.
think the next move, right? They reported, you're thinking, hey, the Bengals are getting Ricky Williams. Ricky Williams is coming to Cincinnati. This is going to be tremendous. They pick Akili Smith,
Yes.
who was projected to be a 3rd round quarterback. Okay.
Right,
With
I'm
one of the
reading that. I just-
stupidest things I've ever seen in my life, which went down. And I looked at that screen. I was like, you know what? I'm a Browns fan. And I literally became a Browns fan. Like, screw it. I threw away all my Bengals stuff, all of it, man. And I
Now
became
wait
a
a second.
Browns
Okay,
fan.
wait. So the Browns took Tim Couch. The Eagles picked number 2.
Okay,
they-
so whoever it was, go ahead.
They took Donovan McNabb.
McNabb, right? Okay.
Then the Bungles took Achilles Smith,
Akili Smith.
but then after that, the Colts at number 4 took Edgerrin James, and
The
then
Ricky
Ricky
Williams
Williams,
draft.
was drafted at 5.
There it is. That's go back and look what Mike Ditka traded for that pick at number 5.
Everything.
He offered that to the Bengals, and the Bengals said no, and then they still didn't draft Ricky Williams.
Wow.
If you're not going to draft Ricky Williams, just move back.
right.
Take all the picks and move back.
But what's funny is that Edgerrin James was drafted ahead of him by the damn Colts.
Mike
did that
Ditka
happen?
wanted Ricky Williams. Mike Ditka wanted
Wow.
Ricky Williams.
Wow. Man, I'll have some questions for my colleague tonight
Ask him
at
about
7
that.
o'clock.
Ask,
I will.
ask him about when the Hamilton
I have some
County,
trivia questions. I have some
Ask-
trivia for him.
Ask him about when Hamilton County took the Bengals to court over the failure to field a competitive team.
What? What?
Hamilton County threatened, and I think actually did take the Bengals to court. A part of the lease, see, this is, you can tell, former Bengals fan, part of the lease for that stadium down there
Yeah.
included a clause that says that they had to field a competitive team, and they continued to lose. The county threatened to sue the Bengals for the cost of the construction of the stadium. The
Current
NFL,
stadium.
yes, the NFL stepped in, forced Mike Brown to hire scouts. He did not scout players. Like, Mike Brown was the only person scouting players. Okay.
Yeah.
No scouting department, nothing.
I'm writing these questions down right now.
The NFL had to step in and force Mike Brown to hire a scouting department. They forced him to draft players and to pay players because he would not pay players. They're like the
Yeah.
Oakland A's, right? They're like
Yeah.
the minor league team for the major league team that just happens to be major league team. Okay. Forced him to pay players to field a competitive team, lest the NFL have to cover the cost of the entire construction of the stadium that the county voters paid for.
Wow.
So yeah,
Wow.
you could be a fan of that franchise.
Do you know who the Browns took in 99 with their second pick in round number 2?
No, I do not.
Wide receiver
Brandon
Kevin.
Edwards,
Kevin Johnson
Kevin Johnson. Okay,
of Syracuse. There you go. Wow.
There you
I got a lot of ammo to
just gotta
throw out
ask him.
That's awesome.
Ask him
Joel-
if he's happy with what he got. All right, look, we got to wrap this up. I got to stop talking about my favorite little pet peeve.
I
which
love
is
it.
How
I love
terrible
it,
the
Johnny.
Bengals-
I love it.
how terrible the Bengals are. All right, later, everybody.
Thank you for listening to the What the Elf Was That podcast. Please like, subscribe, and tell all your friends to give a listen. You can follow host Joel Cade on Twitter at The Left Guard.
I'm actually surprised they paid Joe Burrow.